Hey sis, long time no see. I needed to talk to you about something. You open right now?
It's been so long, Jenna. Why haven't you been answering my texts?
Sorry, I've been pretty preoccupied for the past 3 years.
What on earth have you been doing for so long? You can't imagine how worried I've been all this time.
Yeah, I know.
You could have at least contacted me in some way or another, you know? I called you 1,000,000 times. I texted you through every single platform I could think of. I was literally dying to reach you, and you know it.
Oh, sorry. I had your number and contacts on every single platform blocked until right now, so I didn't notice any of your calls. Oops.
I knew it. And now you randomly decide to reach out to me, huh? So, I guess you're desperately in need of something right now. What is it? Money?
Of course not. You're hilarious. I wanted to ask you something about your marriage. Your wedding is in 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yes? How do you know?
I heard from one of our mutual friends. After all, we were raised in the same town, weren't we? I still cannot believe that you were able to get a ring around your finger before me.
It doesn't matter which one of us gets married first.
Of course it does. There's no way on earth that a fat-faced ugly girl like you was able to get married before my beautiful self. This should be illegal or something.
Oh, shut up. Are you drunk or something?
Whoa, very impressive. How'd you notice?
How could I not notice? You really say anything when you're drunk, honey. Like that one time you lied to my friend and made her believe that her boyfriend was cheating on her with me. You really almost got her to try and murder me.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun. Speaking of boyfriends, I searched up your boyfriend's name on the internet out of curiosity. I even know his parents' house now. He lives in a huge house. He must be rich, huh? Even the interior of the house was super luxurious.
Please stop stalking my fiancé, you creep. You even searched up inside of his house?
Nope, I actually stepped inside myself to take a look.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm actually pregnant with his baby right now.
What? You should really go easier on the alcohol. Text me again when you're sober.
Actually, I'm not joking. Let me reword it so you can understand me better. I'm pregnant with the baby of the man that is your fiancé. You know, the one you're bound to have a wedding with?
What do you mean you're serious? You're lying.
I'll tell you one last time, so listen carefully. I'm pregnant with your husband's baby.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do you mean? It sounds pretty straightforward if you ask me. He's mine now, so make sure to sign the divorce certificate, Kay? I left it in the mailbox at our old house, so turn it as soon as you're done. You won't be able to have a wedding in a situation like this anyways. Might as well be quick with it, so I can have my moment quicker, right?
Whoa. I am not divorcing my husband.
Well, you're not pregnant, aren't you? I got pregnant before you, therefore your husband, the father, is now mine. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Just get over with it. I don't have the time for your whining.
He isn't the type of person to do such a thing in the first place. He's a gentle soul who would never hurt me like that.
I get that you want to believe in your beloved husband, but this is the reality, so I need you to suck it up and move on, okay?
Even if this were true, why would you do something like this?
What do you mean?
Before you disappeared for 3 years, you took all of my savings, every single cent of the $30,000 that I had spent years saving up, and you just ran away, didn't you? And even before that, you tried to sabotage my relationship with the guy I was dating back then, just so you could have him. You even lied to my best friend over and over to try to make her hate me as a person. What are you trying to accomplish by making my life more miserable? What's wrong with you?
Isn't it obvious? It's because you're my annoying older sister, so naturally, I just want the worst for you, no matter what it is. I'm happy as long as you're unhappy, sis.
What the hell?
It's always been like this. Because even though I'm obviously the cuter one out of the two, you always have a boyfriend or friend around you. You always have someone to take care of you. You always have more money than me, and the way everyone likes you is so annoying.
That's your reason? Seriously?
It might sound stupid to you, but I'm being dead serious right now. I'm cuter, so I should be treated better.
If you want people to like you, then why don't you just establish relationships that people feel are worth caring about? And the only reason I have more money than you is because I work more than you. You do know that you have to work in order to earn money, right?
This conversation reminds me of how I also hate the way you're so bossy towards me. You're always trying to sound wise, but I know who you are deep down. You're just no one who's trying to get everyone's attention.
Jenna!
Don't Jenna me. You don't mean anything to me. What matters is that your fiancé is in love with me and I'm pregnant with his baby. So therefore, he's mine. And that is final. I'm already 3 months pregnant, by the way. Get the divorce done quickly, please. Bye-bye.
Daniel, can I have a moment to talk to you? I know you're busy at work right now, but there's something really important that I need to address with you.
Hey, honey. Of course, what could that be? Wait, let me guess. This is about our wedding, right?
Well, partially, I guess. It's about something more important than that.
More important than our wedding? May I ask if everything's alright?
Well, everything would be alright as long as you haven't seen my sister in a while.
Your sister? Oh, the one who cut you off on all contact 3 years ago. I thought she did horrible things to you and just poofed out of nowhere.
Yeah, that one. Have you been meeting her recently by any chance?
I don't even really know how she looks. We met after that incident happened between you and your sister, so I never got to know her well in the first place. I mean, the only time I'd seen her before is that one time you showed me a picture of her, so I don't think I'd recognize her even if she saw me in the city or something. Sorry. Did I accidentally ignore her when she passed by or something?
No, nothing like that. I guess you really don't know her then.
Can I ask why you were wondering that? Were you able to finally reach her? We should definitely bring her to the wedding if you were.
I was actually able to reach her, but something happened and I got worried, so I contacted you.
Oh, that's great! Has something happened?
Well, Jenna has been telling me that she's pregnant with your baby.
Me? My baby?
Apparently she's 3 months pregnant now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can we slow down for a second? That's literally impossible. I work from home on most days during the week, and even when I do go out for work, I have you drive me over to the company. We spend the weekends together over at our house, too. You and I both know that it's physically impossible for me to do something like that. I would never even want to cheat on you.
Please calm down. I'm not doubting you or anything. I just wanted to consult you about it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It sounded like I was trying to get something out of you or something. That wasn't my intention at all. My sister just contacted me and started saying these things out of nowhere. So I wanted to tell you about it and ask you what you think I should do about it.
No, I'm sorry for panicking too. I just got scared that something would harm our relationship or something. But why would your sister just say something like that?
It's possible that the story about the pregnancy itself is just a total lie.
Why would she lie about something like that?
I'm pretty sure she was drunk when she sent the text to me.
Oh, that's true. A pregnant lady wouldn't be drinking in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but she sounded like she was saying all of that just to feel like she was better than me or something for once. And considering her personality, I'm pretty sure that she even would take good care of her own baby. So she probably wouldn't sabotage the safety of the baby by drinking like that.
So you're saying that considering her personality, she wouldn't have been drunk if she were really pregnant.
I mean, I'm just guessing, but that's what I think is what happened.
That makes sense. So I guess the next thing we should be worrying about is the wedding, right? We should be on alert about what type of crazy things she might do next. Should we contact the wedding hall and make sure that they don't let her into our wedding?
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. I'll contact them and let them know about the situation.
Hey sis, I would want to say happy wedding to you, but I guess the wedding isn't happening today since your husband got another girl pregnant. What a shame. It happened so suddenly, didn't it? How does it feel to have your own fiancé choose your sister over you? I'm so sorry I was born so beautiful. If I wasn't so gorgeous, you might have had a happy marriage.
Who would have guessed? It's you spamming my phone again. I'm kind of busy right now, so contact me later. I'm gonna turn my notifications off, so bye-bye.
What do you mean busy? Your wedding was cancelled, so you must be bored to death. All thanks to me.
Oh no, there must have been a misunderstanding here. Of course we're doing the wedding today, silly.
What do you mean? Oh, so you still believe that your husband might actually show up? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but all of that time getting ready is about to go to waste. Boo-hoo! That's just hilarious.
Whatever, the wedding is about to start, so I'll see you later, I guess.
You're really gonna do the wedding without the groom? Dang, sis, that's very bold of you, I guess. Call me if you're gonna do an after party. I'll be sure to bring the wine so you can drink your tears away.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We're about to go turn in our marriage certificate together, by the way. Make sure to let everyone at the wedding hall know. I'm pretty sure his friends would love to come to his actual wedding with me anyways. I feel so bad for you. But I feel so happy for myself at the same time. Sucks to be you. What's up, sis? How was your solo wedding? I hope the music and food was good, I guess. Me and your ex-husband ended up having dinner at a restaurant at the top floor of a hotel. The view was absolutely amazing, by the way. And the food was great too. I'm so fortunate to have him in my life. I was imagining how miserable your wedding was while eating, and I felt horrible.
Why is it always you that's spamming my phone? Can you please leave me alone? What do you want?
I just wanted to let you know that the marriage certificate is turned in, and it's official. Your supposed-to-be husband is now mine.
Congratulations, honey. I hope you're finally happy with yourself.
Are you kidding me? You're trying not to act embarrassed, huh? You need to do something with that ego, sis. Don't act as if you're fine when you're not.
Do you really still believe that my husband is now yours? That there's nothing off about this whole thing?
What do you mean? Of course your husband is mine. He's right next to me.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm actually not divorced with my husband.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
The wedding went perfectly as planned, and we became a newlywed couple just a few hours ago. As you could probably tell by now, yes, my husband was right beside me the whole time. In fact, he's right next to me at the moment.
What? You must be on something. He's right next to me.
Nope. The man next to you is not my husband.
Wait, but if he's not your husband, then who's this man sitting next to me?
So you really did turn in a wedding certificate. I thought you were just lying about that.
Of course I turned in a wedding certificate. Aren't you the one who's lying right now? I know for a fact that I took your husband away from you and married him. Bob signed the paper and the city hall said that there was no problem with it.
Bob?
Yes, Bob.
Oh, I get it now.
What do you get?
Jenna, my husband's name is Joe, not Bob.
What? Who the hell's Joe? I don't know who you're trying to fool right now, but you need to stop lying. What are you trying to accomplish right now? Whoa!
This is a picture from today's wedding of Joe and I. Do you like it?
Bob? But he was with me the whole day. I don't get it.
The man in the picture is Joe. His name is Joe, not Bob. And he's my husband.
No, but that's Bob. He has the exact same face as the man right next to me.
I mean, it makes sense that the two have identical faces, I guess. Bob is Joe's identical twin.
Identical twins? What kind of comic book storyline is this?
Bob was supposed to come to today's wedding as his older brother's best man, but he canceled on him out of nowhere because apparently his girlfriend announced that she was pregnant and he needed to go get engaged to her. I guess that was you he was talking about.
Oh no.
It all makes sense now. I mean, that sounds like something Bob would do. He's a free spirit, to put it nicely. He has trouble setting his priorities, so he always cancels on events if there's something that personally benefits him. But I've heard stories of that habit of his working against him and those around him. Badly. Like that one time he canceled on a really important meeting because he felt burnt out and caused his company to lose a multi-million-dollar deal. Or that time he cheated on his girlfriend with several women and got sued for it. Joe saying that he's tens of thousands of dollars in debt right now because of all of that.
He has debt? Why didn't you tell me all about this earlier? Now I'm stuck with this guy being my husband?
Just get a divorce if you don't want him to be your husband.
Of course I can't do that. There's no way on earth that I could afford to work and raise my child on my own.
Wait a minute. I thought you were just drunk when you said that you were pregnant. Do you actually have a baby?
What?
The first time that you told me you were pregnant was when you were drinking, so naturally, I thought that you were just lying to try and attack me. Besides, if you were really pregnant, I thought even you wouldn't drink and potentially harm the baby. Shame on you for that, by the way.
It was supposed to be a lie at first. I was just trying to make you feel worse and myself better about the situation.
Then why are you saying all of this now?
Because I took a test and found out that I was actually pregnant yesterday.
Wow, what are the odds? So your lies became reality, huh? I mean, might as well celebrate the new life between you two.
No, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. What should I do from now?
Why are you asking me?
You're the only person who I can ask help for. Please, you're on your feet and I really need it.
What do you expect me to do about it? You're on your own, sis.
How could you leave your own sister to rot like this? I guess we could move into the house of my in-laws. I mean, I really wouldn't want to live with those old people, but that's probably our only option right now.
Oh, about that. I don't think you're going to be able to live in that house anymore, because it's going to be put up for sale in a few days.
What? Why?
It was recently announced that Joe was planning to get moved to Canada to manage a new project there. And he was told by his boss that he would most likely stay there for the rest of his career, so I decided that I would move with him. So we had a talk with his parents, and they told us about how they always wanted to live in Canada, and that it would be a dream come true if they could come along and live with us. So they made the decision to sell their house and move in with us.
Wait, but what's gonna happen to Bob then? He lives with his parents right now, doesn't he?
Apparently, Joe suggested that he move with us, but Bob immediately turned down the offer because he doesn't like cold climates.
What kind of reason is that? Our lives are on the line right now.
Oh, and one more thing.
What? What now?
Our parents moved to another house a year ago too, so you won't find anyone even if you go there.
What?
So I actually didn't receive the divorce certificate that you told me you sent me a while ago. I'm pretty sure the current owners are very concerned about it.
What do you mean they aren't living in our house anymore? Where are they then? I need to know. Me and Bob are going to move in with them.
Mom and Dad went out of their way to ask me to keep quiet about their whereabouts to you. So I can't tell you. Sorry.
What do you mean? They can't just ban their own daughter from their house like this.
They were saying that no matter what you guys used to be, someone who steals money is not their daughter anymore. Sorry.
How could they?
It might be tough, but I wish you good luck. Please take good care of your baby. A few days after me and Joe had our wedding, we and his parents took off for Canada. We're currently living in a house close to his workplace, and it's truly a dream come true for all of us. I later heard that within a few days between our wedding day and moving day, my sister tried to somehow reach me, thinking it would somehow help her situation. But Joe and I had already moved out from our old apartment and were staying at a hotel close to the airport, so she wasn't able to find us anywhere. My sister and Bob are currently living in a cheap old apartment, trying to find a way to somehow pay off all of Bob's debt. On top of that, it turned out that Bob had been borrowing some money from shady people, and they moved a few times after receiving threats of unimaginable contents. I heard from a few relatives that the baby was taken away from my sister after birth, and she was sent over to an orphanage. My sister and her husband were told that if they remain unable to provide a proper environment to raise a child, it is a possibility that either me or my parents will end up taking her in. No matter what ends up happening, the baby has committed no crime and doesn't deserve any less of a happy childhood as anyone else. So we'll be sure to make that happen, one way or another. Tori, your daughter is in front of our house right now for some reason. Can you explain why this is? I'm sorry, but 6 in the morning is way too early to have her over. And I don't remember inviting her over to our house anyways. Why did you leave her after all, by herself in front of our house? Tori, you need to answer right now.
Ugh, can you please stop spamming my phone? Do you know what time it is? What do you want?
That's my line. Why do you leave your daughter all by herself at a time like this? She was freezing when I answered the doorbell. What kind of mother does that to her own daughter? Where are you right now? And where is Andrea? I'm getting worried about what you might have done to her, judging by what you've done to Valerina. Please just give me an explanation about the whole situation.
Oh, yeah, about that. I'm leaving Ballerina for you guys to raise. She just isn't worth my effort, you know? I hope you guys have a good time together, though. Sorry about the late notice.
What? What do you mean, raise? I don't know what makes you think this is a time to be joking around, but you need to stop. If you wanted us to let her stay at our house, then you should have at least let us know a day in advance. Even Ballerina's crying because she thinks that you left her for good.
Well, she's right about crying, because that's exactly what I mean. I need you to raise her from now on. As in, like, she isn't coming back to our house anymore, so you need to give her food and shelter and education and stuff. She's not our child, she's yours.
What? You can't just leave your child at our house and claim that we have to raise her from now on. That has to be some typical child abuse.
I mean, you could sue us and bring her back to our house, but as you can tell from the situation right now, I do not care about that child, and she's just gonna have a very miserable life ahead. And if you don't take the role of raising her, she'll probably end up at some orphanage and live an even more miserable life. So, it's up to you.
You're sick. How could you do this to this beautiful child? Shame on you.
Say whatever you want. You can either take responsibility in making her happy, or just sit back and watch her life fall apart.
Why are you doing this to her?
Look, as you know, my husband died last month. And as a single mother, do you really think I can afford to raise 2 kids? While working to make money at the same time? Even with the inheritance that my husband left behind, the best I can do is provide a living for one of them.
That's a problem for you to figure out, and abandoning one of them is definitely not the way.
There's only so much that a part-timer can do, you know? I can only feed 2 mouths, and one of those is mine.
Then why don't you ask your parents to help you out a bit?
Oh my god, I hate my parents. I would rather die than rely on them.
How ungrateful of you to say that.
As I've said before, say whatever you want. Please be my guest. I don't care. So, given all of the information that I mentioned above, I realized that I could only raise one child, and the other child should be raised by someone more facilitated, which turned out to be you. Come on, you're my husband's younger sister and Andrea's aunt. Come to think of it, Andrea's basically your own daughter.
What are you on right now? There's no way that you really think that logic is going to justify all of this.
I'm sure your husband is gonna be excited about having a daughter too.
But this isn't our child.
You said that you would support me in whatever way necessary at the funeral. This is the help that I need right now, so I need you to cooperate.
But this is all so sudden and out of nowhere. Have you at least tried to ask for support by the government or something? There's tons of ways to help raise your children, and scholarships and child support.
It's too much of a hassle to go through all of that paperwork, and I don't have the time to be dealing with all of that right now.
You can't tell me that you can't do even that for your own children. Please get your priorities straight. This isn't the same thing as buying a puppy. We're talking about your own child here.
It's just easier to make you raise her. Therefore, it makes more sense to just do that. Come on, quit being so stubborn and help out a sister.
I would have helped you out with all of the paperwork that you needed if you had just said it was what you needed. It isn't too late. Let's go to the city hall together and see what kind of financial support you're eligible for. How could you abandon Ballerina all by herself like this?
I mean, if it came down to choosing one of the two, I'm pretty sure that anyone would have chosen Andrea.
I would never choose one of my kids over the other.
Everyone says that until they're actually demanded to make the decision. Ballerina's always whining about something and never shuts up. On top of that, she's so slow and dull in the mind. She won't do me any good even if I keep her, so I'm letting her go.
Whether a child does you any good or not, it's a parent's responsibility to love and protect the child. How dare you label your own kids like that?
You can say whatever you want, but when it comes down to making a choice, the answer is always obvious. Andrea never complains, and she's always smiling. She is so unproblematic, so I'm sure she has a far better chance of making it in any type of job. Therefore, I'm investing in her.
What do you mean by investing in her?
I'll raise her for now, and once she's able to get a good job, she can make all of the money, which I'll live off of. It's a great plan, isn't it?
You're really going to isolate your daughter from her sister and make her work like a slave? Are you serious?
Of course I am. They say work smarter, not harder. This is my smartest way out of being poor.
You're crazy.
I'm really not. It's the child's job to take care of their parents, and Andrea has a far better chance in making lots of money. Therefore, it's only natural that I put in more effort for her instead of Valerina. That's why I gave you the stupid one. Good luck raising her!
I've never met anyone as obnoxious as you. You know that? I feel horrible for Andrea for being chosen and forced to stay with you. Our family has our own plans too. We can't just take Valerina in and make it work. Please just come to our house so we can discuss all of this. If you can't come, then I'll drive Valerina over to your house. Which would you prefer?
What about neither? Andrea and I are moving today, so I'll never see you again. Sorry.
What?
We can't afford to keep living in the apartment we used to live in, so I decided to take my daughter and move into a cheaper place. It's a bit far away from here, but my friend owns the place so I can live there for practically free. Isn't it amazing? That friend's gonna introduce me to a new workplace too, so I'm basically well off at my new location. We're resting at a restaurant by the highway right now, so I won't be coming back.
So you're just texting me to stall until you got on the highway?
I mean, you would have brought her back if I left you an option, so... Come on. When you come to think of it, this is the best for all of us. The girl wouldn't have been treated well if she was stuck with us. And you like kids. It's all for the best.
A parent is supposed to give their life to stay by their child, not to sell them away because they don't need them.
Well, I guess I'm not your practical parent then. Look, the house that we used to live in isn't ours anymore, and I have no intention in coming back. So, might as well have fun raising the girl. She's a bit dull, but she's still fun to mess with. You got this.
This has to be illegal in some way. Hey, don't do this to your daughter. Don't do this to us. Just tell me where you are right now. I'll head there, so please just tell me.
Not a chance, honey. I know you're trying to push Valerina back to me. Won't let that happen. She's yours now, so treat her well. I hope y'all have a happy future together. Bye-bye.
I'm not done with you. Hey, Tori, you don't have to do this.
Hey, Bella. Long time no see, right? How have you been?
I'm sorry, who is this?
Oh, don't tell me you've forgotten about me. It's me, Tori. You know, your legal sister, the wife of your older brother. Come on, we both know you remember me. Quit playing dumb.
I actually do not remember you. Or maybe it's just that I'm instinctively dismissing the existence of the horrifying person who abandoned her own daughter after my older brother died 10 years ago. Neither me, my husband, or our beloved daughter Valerina can recall you. Sorry.
See, you do remember. How have you been? I can't believe you actually went out of your way to raise her instead of abandoning her. Props to you, girl.
What do you want? After all of these years, without giving us a single call or text, not even checking on Valerina at all, the audacity you have to be talking to us right now. Don't tell me you've reached out to us after all these years just to check on her. She doesn't need you anymore. She understands well that you don't care, and that we do.
Why would I go out of my way just to do that? I'm not as bored as you might think.
What do you want then?
Can you give Valerina back to me?
What?
She's already 15 and she's not a child anymore. So I'll have her work for my friend's store, starting next year, so I need her back.
Are you hearing yourself right now?
Of course I am. Loud and clear.
Then I'd assume that even a crazy person like you would understand that I would say no, right? You're the one who left her behind at our house in the first place. You have no right to be asking us to let her go back to being with you. She's practically a daughter to us, and we would never make her go through such a thing.
Yeah, I get it. As much as I'd like to say you're right, I really need another worker right now. So please, give her back.
What happened to your other worker?
Oh, Andrea? Well, she ran away from me last night.
Ran away?
Yeah. I started online gambling as a game to pass some time, but I got a bit carried away. And now I'm stuck with a bunch of debt. So I told Andrea to work instead of studying for college. And she ended up running away.
What the hell are you doing? Is it that hard to be a decent parent?
Apparently so. So, can I have Ballerina back?
What kind of adult would let a child enter that environment? No. My answer is no. So please don't contact us ever again.
Okay, let me rephrase it. I'm demanding you to give me my daughter back. You have no right to say no to this request. She's not your child. She is my child, and I have the legal rights as her parent. And Ballerina has the responsibility to help me pay back my debts as my child. Got it?
Actually, Ballerina is our child. Legally.
But I never signed any papers.
As soon as you left her with us, we went through legal procedure to adopt her. So now she's ours, and we have no right to hand her over.
What?
She is our daughter of my husband, so good luck paying back all of your debts alone.
What? You can't just do that without the permission of me? I'm her mother. She is my daughter by blood. This whole thing should be illegal.
It really isn't. There's a way to adopt a child without permission of the parent. I won't go to any specifics since you probably won't understand any of it anyways. But we were legally admitted as eligible for becoming family through court. And you and Ballerina are legally strangers.
You're lying. You can't do that. I'm her real parent. She still has to listen to me.
Actually, she doesn't. We didn't just adopt her. We went through a foster care adoption process, which basically means that there is no legal tie between you and your daughter anymore. This actually requires the agreement of a real parent. But since you were gone for so many years, the court decided that you were incompetent in making a decision upon this case. Therefore, we didn't need your agreement to make the decision to go through. Ballerina is our child, and I will protect her from you with my life. You will never lay a finger on her ever again.
Then who's gonna help me pay back my debts? I can't just do it on my own. How am I supposed to get out of this?
I guess you're going to have to work on your own. You can't just keep relying on your kids and other people, including them, forever. Just help yourself, and you'll be fine.
Then what was the point of giving birth to 2 daughters? There's no point in having kids if they're useless to me when I need them. I won't let this happen. I will not allow this. You know what? You need to resolve the adoption, go through the legal procedures, and make her my daughter again.
No way. I don't like paperwork, and I'm too lazy to go through that whole process, so...
Quit messing around. I'll be on my way to bring Ballerina back. You better be ready.
Where are you headed to?
To your house.
Do you know where our house is?
The place I dropped Ballerina off 10 years ago?
I'm sorry to tell you this, but our family actually moved to another state a few years ago because of my husband's work. So you won't find us at our old house. Sorry.
What? How dare you move without telling me? This is my kid that you're dragging with you. I deserve to know where she is whenever I want.
Again, she's not your daughter.
Why is it always me? Why do bad things always happen to me? Why can't everyone just do what I ask them to do? Help me, please. I can't pay off my debts alone. I'll be stuck working for the rest of my life.
As strangers, we have no responsibility to helping you. Sorry.
Why not?
Why don't you take a deep breath, close your eyes and ask yourself, have I really done nothing to be deserving this right now? I'm sure you'll be able to get yourself an answer. Since I'm done addressing this situation, I'll be going now. I'm sure neither I nor Valerina will ever be seeing you again. So, farewell. Apparently, Tori tried to go and look for Valerina and Bella, but wasn't able to do anything since she couldn't pay for the gas to get anywhere. After that, she tried to work her butt off to pay back her debts, but ended up borrowing even more money because of her online casino addiction. After reaching out to illegal sources or money laundering, she was caught by the members of a gang and was forced to work as a prostitute. After acting upon impulse, Tori ended up getting herself in a living hell situation. Not that she didn't deserve it. FYI, Andrea was taken to her grandparents' house after a few days since she ran away from her mother. And now she lives with her grandparents and goes to high school like any other student. Valerina is also a high school student now, and she's pursuing her dreams as a nurse, going to school every day with her friends. In the end, I'm extremely grateful that everyone ended up at a better place, and I think everyone other than Tori is glad about how things ended up.
Esther, we're getting a divorce.
What?
You went back to your mom and dad's place after getting discharged from the hospital. They have ramps and all that crap, so it's wheelchair friendly, right? There's no sense you coming back to me. I just terminated the contract on the apartment, so it ain't like there's anywhere for you to come back to anyway.
Barry, what the hell? Just slow down a minute. The only reason I came back to live with my folks is because our apartment isn't wheelchair friendly. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement. Wasn't the plan to find a new wheelchair friendly place to move in together?
Maybe it was at one point, but you know what? That sounds like a real pain in the ass.
What?
Listen, babe, I'm real grateful for you jumping in to save me like that. I would have been in major trouble if not for you. Who knows, I could have even died. It sucks that you ended up in a wheelchair after falling down the stairs. But you know what, Sugar Dumpling? That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Thing is, Sweetie Pie, all this time alone, I've been doing some thinking. The fact that your mom and dad's place is wheelchair friendly must mean you had some close friend or relative in a wheelchair living there before.
Yes, my grandma. Apparently they had some improvements made on the house to make her life there as smooth and stress-free as possible.
Basically, your family home, where they have experience looking after cripples, is a far more suitable care environment than anything I could possibly provide. Think about it. You know I'm right.
Oh my god.
As soon as I realized that, it dawned on me just how pointless our relationship is. You're dead weight, and divorce is the only answer.
How could you do this? You make it sound like you don't even care about me. I'm in a difficult enough place mentally as it is, Barry. I'm in a wheelchair for crying out loud. Did you really have to do this now of all times? Oh my god, my world is falling apart.
Oh yeah, that too!
Huh?
Ever since you got put in a wheelchair, you've been giving off this miserable, depressing aura. Like you're constantly begging for sympathy. And I gotta tell you, babe, it's been hard on me.
What the? How could you say this?
In any case, I ain't got no interest in continuing married life with a depressing, crippled loser like you. That's why we're getting a divorce. I'll mail the divorce papers to your folks' place. Make sure you get them signed and handed in ASAP. Your folks are gonna have to push you there, obviously. See ya!
3 years later.
Hey, Esther, it's been a while.
Huh? Is that Barry?
Can you believe it's been a whole 3 years? Time sure flies when you're having fun, huh?
What do you want?
I'm messaging you because there's something I wanted to tell you.
What?
I'm getting remarried!
That's great. Congratulations.
Haha, thanks, babe.
Was that all you wanted to tell me?
Huh?
Surely it would be kinda weird if the only reason you wanted to message your ex-wife after 3 years was to tell her you're getting remarried. Surely that wasn't the only thing? To be honest, I think I forgot to block you because I was dead certain you'd never message me again. After all, why would you? I didn't see this one coming. If that was all you wanted to tell me, let's leave it there. I'd appreciate it if you didn't contact me again.
Aha! I knew it! I knew messaging you was the right thing to do.
What? Why?
It's as plain as day. You still have feelings for me, don't you, babe?
Excuse me?
You know how when you tell a kid not to push a button, they always end up pushing it? It was reverse psychology. You thought by telling me not to contact you, I'd get in touch with you again someday, and you'd have another shot at the prize. Me. I can read you like a book.
I'd appreciate it if you stopped playing games and acting so strange. We're done. Barry, and that's final. Now please, stop messaging me. Just leave me alone. You're really annoying.
One more thing. My fiance is the daughter of the CEO of a major company. I take a huge sigh of relief every time I remember how I never would have found myself such a good woman if we didn't divorce. Whew, talking about dodging a bullet. Can you imagine? Me, forced to be permanent live-in carer to some whiny cripple for the rest of my life? I made the right decision.
Wow.
Aha! There it is! The jealousy rears its ugly head. Ha ha ha! I guess no one can blame you. I'm a rugged, fine specimen of a man who can have any woman he wants. And you're in a wheelchair.
Is this the real reason you messaged me?
Huh?
Did you just want to mock and ridicule me for being in a wheelchair? To gloat about how much better you think you are than me? About how much better you think your life is than mine?
Ha ha! I guess it can't be helped. It is the truth after all.
I'd appreciate it if you kept your malicious, spiteful judgments about what you think my life must be like to yourself.
Aw, is someone a little mad? Does baby want a dummy?
I suggest you be careful about what you say.
What? Is that a threat? I'm quaking in my boots here, honest.
It'd be an awful shame if you said the wrong thing and forced me to take revenge on you when you least expected it.
Whatever, you jealous loser. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'll invite you to the wedding. It could be good for you. Think about it. If you see how blissfully happy me and my new wife are together with your own eyes, it might help you finally let go of your feelings for me.
Feelings for you? I honestly could not care less about you.
Great, that settles it then. I'll send the invite out to your folks' place.
I don't want one, and I'm not going. Truthfully, I'd rather stick pins in my eyes.
I know how stubborn you are, so I know you'll probably reply not attending, despite wanting to come more than anything. But I'm preparing some space for your wheelchair, so you better show up.
I said I'm not going. The day of the wedding.
Hey, Esther! I knew it! You were so adamant you weren't gonna come, but I knew it was all an act. You actually came, didn't you? Priceless! I saw a woman in a wheelchair making her way towards the wedding hall from the waiting room window. I knew it! Your feelings for me are unshakable, and you came in spite of your protest. You can't run from love, babe! Or roll in your case. Problem is, I filled the space I had ready for you, cause you sent the invite back saying you weren't attending. They don't even make movies this entertaining. Sorry, sweet cheeks, but I could hardly let you in without a confirmed invite. My hands were tied. I knew I did the right thing by warning my buddy on reception. I said, hey, Timmy, if some bimbo in a wheelchair shows up, you make sure you turn her away immediately. You got that, Mal? Why? Because she's my ex-wife. He messaged me just now saying he sent you packing the moment you showed up. He said the look in your face was priceless. Enjoy the journey home. I hope you brought someone to push you.
Barry, I'm sorry, but I'm completely lost. What are you talking about?
Cripple, go home! Go home, go home, go home! Cripple, go home! Go home, go home, go home! G-O-H-O-M-E!
But I never came in the first place.
Huh?
As you well know, I sent the invite back with the not attending box very clearly ticked. As I told you before, I had no intention of going, and I didn't. So what the hell are you talking about?
Huh? But in that case, who was the one I saw from the waiting room window?
Obviously, it wasn't me.
Wait, what? Seriously?
The next day.
How in the heck of the baby Lord Jesus' name was I supposed to know, you stinky bimbo?
Wow, where did that come from all of a sudden?
The woman in the wheelchair I kicked out of the wedding after mistaking her for you yesterday was actually my wife's childhood friend. My wife flipped out at me big time for giving her the boot. Apparently they were real close, like sisters. I've never seen her this bad. She's threatening to divorce me, you goddamn evil witch! This is all your fault for being in that godforsaken wheelchair! How dare you!
This is my fault? Amazing! You literally have zero ability to self-reflect, do you? So this must mean your wife's childhood friend was one of the invites she sent out. Which also means the necessary arrangements to accommodate a guest in a wheelchair would have been taken by the organizers of the ceremony. Surely there's no way the groom wouldn't have been made aware of something like this at his own wedding. Or maybe you were, and you just weren't listening. Which was it? Or maybe you were listening, but you forgot?
Actually,
If by any chance were you leaving all of the wedding arrangements to your wife, you were taking on your fair share of the responsibility, weren't you, Barry? Let's face it, you always were the kind of guy to come up with nonsensical excuses every time you deemed something to be a pain in the ass. Even if the thing you were escaping from was very clearly something you should have been taking responsibility for. That's always the kind of guy you were, wasn't it, Barry?
the heck are you talking about? You make me sick, woman. Look at you. So what? So I made one teensy-weensy, teeny-weeny little mistake. I'm human, aren't I? Get off your high horse, you self-righteous witch. This just proves you still have feelings for me. It gets more obvious with each message.
Keep dreaming.
Maybe try learning to walk again, cripple. Who knows? You might even be able to get remarried like me.
Huh? Oh, right. I see. You don't know anything about my situation these days, do you?
What else is there to know? You're a friendless, single, shut-in hermit cripple who lives with her elderly parents and relies on them 24/7 to care for her. I don't need to ask to know that.
I gave the rehab everything I had after the divorce and made huge improvements. Doctors tell me I'm well and truly on the road to recovery.
Huh?
They also tell me that if I carry on working hard, there's a good chance I'll be able to walk normally again one day, as if the accident never happened.
Wait, what? Seriously?
This isn't exactly new though, is it? They've been saying this since the beginning.
What? They have?
Looks like my suspicions were right. You divorced me without even properly listening to what the doctors had to say, didn't you?
I did? Oh man.
Oh, by the way, your new wife asked me to pass on this message.
Huh?
You're despicable. I want a divorce, now.
Wait, what? What? What the heck? How is she speaking to you?
She just showed up at my house because she wanted to ask me some questions.
Uh-oh.
She was pretty curious about the background behind her divorce, and of course, I, being super friendly and sociable, told her everything. She was absolutely furious about how you treated her childhood friend yesterday. She said she suddenly felt like she no longer knew you. She's on her way to you with the divorce papers now. Apparently, she never wants to see you again after you sign them. A few days later.
Sup, honey cheeks? I kept you waiting a long time, huh? You can finally remarry me now!
Excuse me?
Ah, don't worry. It won't count as cheating or infidelity or anything like that. I'm newly divorced now, so there's nothing stopping us. I'm single and ready to mingle.
There's nothing stopping us from doing what exactly?
I might be a 2-time divorcee, but I'm pretty sure that technically goes back down to 1 with me and you getting remarried. What's more, now that I know you're not going to be a wheelchair anymore, it'll be just like before. You'll be a normal person again. However, there is just one small condition. My bitch ex-wife is demanding ungodly amounts of compensation and saying I owe her all the money she put into planning the wedding. The total comes to just shy of $40K. As long as you pay off that for me, you can have me back. Your family are filthy rich, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? Just give old Pops a call and this'll be settled in a jiffy. I'll be heading over to your folks' place tomorrow, so make sure you have the marriage registration stuff dealt with before I arrive, okay, sweet cheeks?
Would you mind slowing down for a sec? There's something you should know.
What is it?
I already got remarried.
Huh?
I fell in love with the physio who oversaw my rehab at the hospital. He's such an amazing man. He was there for me when I was at my lowest, when my head was all over the place after being so cruelly and heartlessly tossed aside, like some piece of trash when you realized I was in a wheelchair.
You married the physio? Oh, this is the first I've heard of it.
Is there a reason I need to give detailed reports on my private life to my ex-husband?
But I gave you reports on my private life.
I don't remember there being any kind of rule saying I have to do that.
Wait, does this mean you won't marry me? It's gonna be a lot harder trying to find a new wife as a 2-time divorcee, you know. Have you even thought about how this is gonna affect me?
I'm praying that one day you'll have an epiphany and realize that this was entirely your fault. But something tells me I'll be praying for a long time.
What?
It'd be a miracle if you found an oddball crazy enough to marry a cruel, selfish, heartless, mean-spirited, good-for-nothing loser like you.
What? That's just uncalled for!
Never contact me again. Goodbye. Later on, I found out the real reason my ex-husband went out of his way to tell me he was getting remarried was that, apparently, at the time of the divorce, his friends and family found out he was ending things because the thought of caring for his then-crippled wife was too much for a nuisance. Unable to cope with his newfound reputation as a total scumbag, he hatched a plan to heal his damaged reputation. The idea was to goad me into causing a scene at his wedding by provoking me into a jealous rage so he could paint me as some kind of deranged psycho whom he had no choice but to divorce. I really am tired of him. Talk about dodging a bullet. Amazingly, his parents were nothing like him, and me and them had always gotten along, so a few days later, I decided to tell them everything. They immediately hung their heads in shame and apologized profusely. His mom said, as if the shenanigans at the wedding weren't bad enough, "My goodness, Esther, we're so sorry." They vowed to keep a watchful eye on him to ensure he could never hurt anyone again. Last I heard, he was being forced to work to exhaustion to pay off his debts by his ex-military dad.
Abby! Where on earth are you? I got a call from your mom right now. She says she's been looking everywhere for you. Abby! A, B, B, why?
What do you want? Quit ringing up my phone. It's way too early to deal with you. We're done. So I need you to quit acting as if you're my boyfriend or caretaker or whatever. This needs to stop.
To be completely honest with you, I hadn't even thought about you since the day you decided to cheat on me. I'm only reaching out to you because today's the day that we scheduled for the meeting about our divorce. Our lawyers are arriving at 10 o'clock. I told you that the two of us needed to be here an hour early to finish all the paperwork. Why are you still not here?
Cut me some slack. We don't need a full hour to finish that.
I'm really getting tired of your games. We rescheduled this meeting once already because you said that today would be a better day. I'm spending New Year's Eve doing all of this instead of seeing my family because you said you wanted to finish everything before New Year's. Just come as soon as you can. Let's get this over with already.
Actually, I'm sorry to break it to you, but I've decided to spend the day with Russell. So I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to reschedule this meeting again.
You gotta be kidding me. What the hell do you mean?
I mean, I'm gonna spend today and the beginning of the year with Russell, so I can't come to today's meeting.
Cancel whatever plans and come here right now.
We're already on our way to the airport, so...
Well, come back then!
We can't! We're already on the highway. Oops. I told him that I wanted to spend New Year's Eve at the beach, and he got the tickets right away. Isn't he amazing? And he booked a hotel suite for us, so I'm probably spending the best New Year's of my life there. People who have money really are just different, aren't they?
I can't believe how blind I was to marry you in the first place.
Whatever. Just finish the paperwork on your own and get the divorce over with. Thanks!
You can't just leave everything to me. We need to discuss the terms of the divorce. You'll end up regretting it if you leave it all to me.
I'll be seeing you next year!
I'm so done with you. You shouldn't even be riding an airplane anyways. Your baby is due this month. Just go home and keep the baby safe.
It's fine. The due date isn't until 3 weeks later, and I'll be back home by then. Besides, the baby daddy's gonna be right beside us for the whole trip. I'm sure he'll take care of me if anything happens.
I feel like you're underestimating the amount of danger and complexity that comes with giving birth. Have you never heard of stories of mothers giving birth on airplanes and getting themselves into life or death situations?
Can you quit acting like you're some kind of expert or something? You know nothing about birth, nor do you know how it feels to be pregnant, since you're a man. I know my body, and I'm saying I'm fine.
Well, I know that certain conditions of the mother can mess with the due dates of babies. For example, being extremely tired after traveling long distances right before giving birth.
Whatever. This baby in my tummy isn't even yours anyway. You don't have the right or responsibility to be worrying about this. Are you still into me or something? Too bad I'm stuck with a rich guy now. Sucks to be you.
I'm worried about the baby because no matter how horrible the parents are, the baby is always innocent, and they don't deserve to be put in danger because of their parents' ego.
You're definitely still into me, aren't you?
How on earth did the conversation that we just had lead to that conclusion?
Whatever, it doesn't matter. I belong to Russell now, so you don't have any say in anything I do. Got it?
Whatever. But even if you end up regretting your own actions, I'm not gonna help you out.
Sure.
Just give me a date where you can come and discuss the terms for the divorce. A day that you can come for sure.
Yeah, let me check right now. I get home from the trip on the 2nd of January, so I can show up for any date after that.
I'll try contacting our lawyers to see if we can reschedule it on that day. Wait here.
Hurry up!
Exactly at noon on the 3rd of January. And this is final. We'll meet up at your house so that you won't have a chance at standing us up anymore. Just stay in bed until the time comes. And don't even think about rescheduling this time. I have the divorce permit that you signed when you left with Russell, so I'll sign my part and turn it in today. Sounds good?
Sure, just hurry up and get it over with. We're pulling up to the parking lot of the airport right now, so I'll leave the rest to you. Bye-bye!
I just hope nothing happens to the baby.
Hey, Ken. It turns out that I can't do the meeting on the 3rd earlier, so sorry. Reschedule it again. Thank you.
You have to be joking right now. It's only been a day since we agreed on that day. You know, it's not just me that you're creating trouble for by selfishly rescheduling our meetings like this. Our lawyers and everyone else involved are reserving precious time out of their day to help us out. How could you disregard all of that just for your personal needs?
Calm down. I actually have a proper reason this time.
What could possibly be more important than this meeting?
Well, the thing is, you know how my due date was pretty close, right?
I mean, yeah, we just went over that yesterday.
So I ended up giving birth to my baby earlier than expected, which was yesterday.
I hate when people say this, but I told you so, for God's sake! Did you at least make it through the airplane ride?
Duh, of course you did. And like I told you yesterday, I can tell what's happening to my own body.
You wouldn't have gone on that trip in the first place if you did.
Oh, shut up! My water broke right when we checked into our hotel room, so my darling Russell called the ambulance for me, and I was sent to the nearest emergency hospital. I ended up giving birth right then and there.
Once again, I told you so! Your mom contacted me yesterday to apologize about your selfish behavior, and she told me how you traveled all the way to the beach resort on the coast side. Isn't it common sense that a pregnant lady shouldn't travel long distances?
Could you please just stop sticking your nose into my business? I'm not your wife anymore, and you're nothing to me either. The baby isn't even yours, so don't try and act like it's guardian or something. We're nothing to each other, so stop acting like we are.
I was wrong for thinking you could possibly take this seriously. Whatever. Well, when are you coming back then?
Let's see. I just gave birth yesterday, so you couldn't possibly expect me to come back tomorrow as planned, can you?
Unlike you, I'm a reasonable person, so no. Just tell me when you're coming back.
Can't you just finish the whole procedure without me?
Seriously? You made us wait all this time, and now you want us to do everything by ourselves?
I need some alone time with my baby. You should be more understanding about my situation. Right now is the time for us to take in the joy and excitement of being blessed with the new life that has entered me and Russell's lives. I shouldn't be needing to tell you these things for you to notice. You're clearly the one who should be the gentleman here and back down. This is why guys like you get cheated on by amazing women like me.
Fine, but this means we'll be making all the decisions about the conditions of the divorce without you. Are you sure about this?
Yeah, just get it over with. I'll be hearing about the results from my parents afterwards, so make sure to never contact me again. It makes me sad seeing you in such a miserable state after I left you. Thank God I won't have to see your face ever again. Oh, and by the way, I was planning on asking you for one last favor.
What do you want?
I need you to leave the house we are living in.
Why would you want me to do that?
That house is in my dad's name. It only makes sense that you leave since we already got divorced. Me and my new family will be moving in and building our bright and amazing future there. I don't need a loser like you to be getting in the way of that, so please be my guest and leave the house.
I've already moved out long before. Why would I want to stay in a house that reminds me of the horrible things you did to me? All the furniture is gone and no one lives there anymore.
Oh, great. I'm glad you did something right for once. Well, then, I'm starting to get sleepy. The effort it takes to be a mom, am I right? Good night. See ya never again.
Mrs. Fletcher, it's me, Ken. Happy New Year's. I mean, I'm not sure whether it's a happy time in my life right now, but I'm trying my best to stay strong through this.
Good evening, Ken. I'm so sorry about my granddaughter making you go through all of this. Did she make a call about the news to you? About her baby?
I received a text from her that she gave birth at the vacation site. I heard about it just last night.
Oh, I cannot believe that girl. How irresponsible could a person possibly be? She's my own daughter, but this was a seriously dangerous action by her, towards herself and the baby. I even told her multiple times to come back because it was too close to her due date, but she just wouldn't listen. And as we all expected, this was the result. It isn't just her, but also that Russell boy. He should have been there to stop her from putting his baby in danger.
Tell me about it. I really just hope that everyone stays safe. By the way, Mrs. Fletcher, would you possibly be going to the hospital that Abby is staying at right now?
Yes, she told us that she and her boyfriend have decided to stay here for a while before returning, so my husband and I are on our way. Even though she's the way she is, Abby is still our daughter. So we need to do whatever is best for her, and most importantly, the baby.
If that's the case, I was wondering if I could ask for a favor from you. Could you please give it a hear?
Of course, honey. What could it be?
The truth is, I have doubts about whose child the baby is. So I was wondering if you could please help me get a DNA sample of the baby to turn it in and check who the real father is.
Why would you have doubts about who the father is?
Abby's been saying that the biological father of the baby is Russell, but it seems that she hasn't properly checked whether that was true or not. And to be honest, I still haven't given up completely about the baby being my child. And if it is my child, then I can say without a doubt that I could give her my everything to make her the happiest they could be. On the other hand, I'm not sure whether a couple like Abby and Russell could protect the baby, nor set an example of what kind of adult they should aspire to be.
I understand what you mean.
Thank you for understanding. Could I please ask you to do this? For both me and the baby? This information is necessary for me to even have a chance of obtaining legal rights as a parent of the baby.
So you'll be going against each other in court over the parenting rights?
Yes. I've been trying to make this happen, but Abby's been avoiding my confrontation through this way and that. I need your help to make this happen. Please. I know it'll be a hassle to do this, but you're the only person who I can ask for help from.
If this is for a better future for the baby, then I'll do it.
Thank you so much. I'll be forever in your debt.
Ken, what the hell is going on? What did you do? I need you to reply right now. I know you're part of this.
What do you want now?
Why are the lawyers telling me that my daughter is your biological child? It's literally impossible that this is happening.
Oh, you're talking about the results of the DNA test that you received today. Yeah, I saw it too. I was hoping so, but didn't expect her to actually be my daughter. Thank God!
This is physically impossible, and you know it. You cheated, didn't you? You paid the company to switch up the results. I know you did.
I made sure to ask a reliable company to carry out the test. There's no way that I could have changed the results to my advantage.
I don't care. You've probably somehow found a way to get around it.
If you can't believe the results, then you could just have it checked on your side again. No matter how many times you try, the results aren't gonna change.
There's no reason to test this again. You and I both know this isn't our baby.
Why are you so confident about that?
You know why? We haven't done anything like that with each other for at least the past year. It just doesn't add up.
I guess you really don't remember about that night.
What night?
The night you came back home blacked out drunk. As soon as you got home, you came all over me. I was surprised that you hadn't tried to do anything with me in a while, but I guess you really were too drunk to even remember.
Me? With a guy like you? I've despised you for the longest time. There's no way that could have happened.
I did the math. The day that happened just adds up with the day you gave birth to our daughter. That's why I asked your parents to help me get a DNA sample of the baby. And it turns out that my doubts were in fact true.
You brought my parents into this? I can't believe they'd do something like this to me.
Judging by the way you cheated on me in the first place, and even went as far as to put your baby in danger to fill your own pleasure, I'm pretty sure you'd understand why they made that decision.
They betrayed their own daughter.
Whatever. This is all the proof I need. Since that child is biologically related to me, I have the legal right to fight for the rights as her parent.
Russell gave me the happiness that you never gave me. We could have had a happy family together, but you always ruin everything.
I mean, you still got that douchebag. So you haven't lost everything.
Russell left me yesterday, all because you couldn't keep quiet about that one night. He got angry that I almost tricked him into raising your baby.
That's on you for not checking earlier on. You might have been able to avoid losing him if you hadn't waited to tell him until after the baby was born. I pity him for getting stuck with an irresponsible cheater like you.
You shut up!
He probably feels betrayed, being told that he's the father of a baby and finding out that she's actually the child of another man. Probably feels almost as if he was cheated on. I guess God's decided that you're not fit for happiness. Sorry.
How could you say something like that?
Now that I have proof, I'll be seeing you in court. I'll fight with my life for the parenting rights of my daughter. I can't leave my precious baby with a delinquent like you.
You're trying to take her away from me too? You can't!
I can. I'm her biological father. And you probably can't even provide for her anyways. Don't worry, I'll be sure to make her the happiest girl in the world.
I'll never hand her over. The mother wins in most cases like this. You have no chance at winning. It's statistically proven.
Come on, Abby, just think about it. You broke up with the guy you cheated on me with, who you were financially reliant on. So you're too broke to raise a child. And both of your parents agree that it would be better off for the child for me to raise her. They're so committed in supporting me that they're saying that they'll cut connections with you after we settle this case.
What?
Besides, the only reason that mothers win more often than fathers is because they usually have a better facilitated environment to raise a child. You have practically no income right now, and you have no support from your parents or another man. On the other hand, my workplace is super supportive towards parents, and there's even a company-run preschool in the building. On top of that, I work from home on most days, so I have the environment to take good care of her.
But she needs her mother's love.
You've proven to be insufficient in providing love to others. My parents, your parents, and my sister are all saying they'll support me through this. Think of the happiness of the child. Let go of your ego, Abby.
Ken!
What?
Don't you think the best choice to make for us is to get back together?
Very funny. You're joking, right?
I'm dead serious. The environment for raising a child that you just told me about sounds amazing. The only missing piece is me, her mother. With that environment and the love by her mother, we'll be able to raise her in an environment that most parents could only dream of. So I say we get back together.
Nah.
What?
Do you really think I could leave my princess with an irresponsible, unreasonable, crazy lady like you? Oh, hell no! Having no mother is better than having a mother like you.
I can't believe you!
You'll be hearing from me through my lawyer from now on.
Wait!
Farewell, Abby. First things first, I was able to obtain legal rights as the parent of my daughter, as expected. Russell, the man that my ex-wife cheated on me with, paid his part in the compensations and disappeared like thin air. My ex-wife tried to go back to the house that we used to live together in after court, but her father had already sold the house since it was in his name, and no one lives there now. The money that was earned by selling the house was given to me as compensation and education fees. But in exchange for paying for these fees instead of their daughter, Abby's parents banned her from entering their household forever. All because she decided to cheat on me. Abby lost her parents, her daughter, her house, and even the man she cheated on me with. I heard that she was crying in front of her old house for a few hours, but our neighbors called the police on her for being suspicious, and she was forced to walk away. After that, a friend of mine told me that he had seen her get onto a bus headed for the subway station, and no one has seen her ever since.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.